Now the other thing I've done here in your Tallahassee, I went to that Publix. Yeah, I liked it. It's got nice food. It's better than the Walmart. It's better than the Winn-Dixie, and it's much better than the Piggly Wiggly used to be when that existed many years ago. I've travelled around, but I had an incident happen in the Publix which I don't think would happen anywhere else in America. I'm going to tell you what happened. I think I had my Tallahassee moment today. I'm in the 10 items or less. The man in front of me, I counted 22 fucking items. That should be a felony. I thought, I'm not letting this go. I'm going to say something. Sir, slight problem. Either you can't read or you can't count, but you need to move to the next. Do you know what he did? This guy looks at me and he says, if it's such a big deal, if it's bothering you so much, I tell you what I'm going to do, just for you, I'm going to be 2 people. He picked up one of those plastic dividers that splits one person's shopping from the other. He divided his own shopping into 2 loads and paid twice. I can't put up with things. I had a similar thing in England just before I came in. I parked my car on a double yellow line. You're not allowed to do that in England. I'm outside a candy store. As I'm getting out of my car, there was a large woman coming out of the candy store, and she gets in my face, just straight in my face. Oh, you're in a car. You shouldn't be on a double yellow line. Oh really? You've got a double chin. You shouldn't be in a candy store. I was in Orlando a couple of years ago. I got stuck in one of your hurricanes that you guys keep on going on about. You're so proud of your fucking hurricanes here. Hurricane Charlie. Everyone said, Joel, you've got to leave. Hurricane Charlie's coming. Evacuate, evacuate. But I didn't evacuate because I wasn't scared. And the reason I wasn't scared is because this hurricane was called Charlie. You can't be scared of a Hurricane Charlie, can you? It'd be like a Hurricane Gary. You wouldn't be scared of a Hurricane Gary? Yeah, exactly. What hurricane? They're aggressive. You want to scare me? You want me to leave town? You give it a name like Hurricane Judge Judy, I'll get the fuck out. Or better still, look at the behaviour of your hurricane before you start giving it names, right? It might be a big hurricane, right? But then it gets small, and then it gets big again. Hurricane Oprah. Or you've got a hurricane that just knocks down one town, but no one cares because it's a shitty town. Hurricane Quincy, right? Exactly. Yes. Then there's Hurricane Lewinsky. That one blows and blows till it brings down the White House. One of my heroes is from Florida. Heroes, I beg your pardon, from Gainesville. This man made the news in England. You probably know about this guy. Why is there a snake in here, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, I think there's a snake in the room. I'm hearing a if you could all very quietly leave, because it might not bite anybody. Why are you going Gainesville is the enemy, yeah? And Iowa seems to be the home of people who like to fucking interrupt all the time. She doesn't stop! My God! It's nice to meet you. Anyway, so where were we? Gainesville. I don't know if it's the enemy, but this was a math teacher who got fired. He taught in a high school. This made the news in England. They fired him because he was asking the kids questions about sex and drugs, just to make the lessons more interesting. And I just thought, how bad could these questions have been? What was he saying? Oh, okay, kids. A hooker charges $100 for a blowjob, $200 for sex, and $300 for anything kinky. Last week, one very, very regular customer had 4 blowjobs and 2 sessions of sex and 1 session of the tie me up and spank me. Question, how much did the principal spend? If I was a maths teacher, I couldn't get away with that. I couldn't carry it off. I'd be trying to do a drugs question. I couldn't. I'd be like, okay, kids, if an eighth of dope costs $100, quarter costs $200, how much for a half? Anybody? Sir, I think you'll find a lot less if you get it from us, actually. And why on earth did you want to shout out 85 there? Were you trying to do the math? Because if you were fucking wrong. It's not 85, is it? If you're going to heckle, at least be mathematically accurate, sir. Converting into pounds. Ah, Oh, well, in that case, I see what you're saying, because I do agree with you. The exchange rate at the moment, from your point of view, is fucking diabolical. From mine, I feel like I'm playing one long game of Monopoly as long as I live in this country. Lovely. So, in England, I could buy a hamburger, and for the same money over here, I can buy a house. It's incredible. So Mark Hamill, you know the guy who played Luke Skywalker, married 4 times. 4 times! Did you know this? It is now my ambition to meet him, just so I can go, hey Mark, may divorce be with you. I can't believe some of you are groaning. I saw you, there's a woman at the front groaning. I'm trying to make this woman laugh and she's groaning. Quite ironic, because last time I tried to make a woman groan, she laughed, so... Now, I'm going to tell you something now I'm not proud of, and I ask that you don't judge me on this particular little anecdote I'm going to share. In New York City, I thought it would be a good idea if I went to watch a TV show being recorded. So I went to watch the Maury Povich show. That's in a studio audience. We get it in England, and there's one type of Maury Povich show I really like, and I was hoping, when I showed up, I was praying that they'd be doing the wild teenage girls being sent to the boot camp. I fucking love those shows. They're always the same. You always have the parents coming out first of all, and they're very upset. Maury, we can't cope. She's only 16. She's already slept with over 22 different men. Last year she smoked crackers at her grandmother's funeral. Maury, we can't control her. Send our little bitch to boot camp. So the girl comes out, and the whole audience, they start booing. And I just thought that would be the best thing in the world, to be in the audience and be a part of that. Well, we've heard what she's like. Come on out, let's meet her. Come on out, Tiffany. Boo! No, because that gets Tiffany really pissed. She's going, yeah! That's what I wanted, the boot camp show. I don't think it's asking too much when I give up a morning of my fucking life to have a boot camp show for my entertainment, but when I showed up to the Maury Povich studios on that day, they weren't doing the wild teenage girls going to the boot camp. Anybody have a guess what they were doing when I showed up? Anybody? What? Who's the daddy? Did you say who's the daddy? Do you know what, sir? They weren't doing Who's My Daddy. I'd have been quite happy if they were doing Who's My Daddy. I'll be honest with you, I quite like Who My Daddy. Who My Daddy, I quite like that, that's quite good as well. Well, when it comes to 3-month-old Felicia, Brian, you are not the father. I told you, you were whole, you were whole, you were whole, you were whole. Who's My Daddy? I'd have been happy with Who's My Daddy. They weren't doing Who's My Daddy. I'll tell you what they were doing at the Maury Povich show the day I went. It was a fucking makeover. A makeover. Oh mate, they had one woman for the whole hour. Maury, I can't get a boyfriend. Can you get someone? Get someone to put some makeup on my face, and then I might be able to get a boyfriend. That was the whole show. I couldn't believe they were putting this shit on television. And this woman, she wasn't ugly, she didn't need a makeover, she didn't need a makeover. She was a little bit fat, a little bit. All she needed to exercise, and she needed to eat properly. I was on my feet screaming, send that bitch to boot camp! Get her to boot camp! So, I'm single. Say it again? Don't go to Quincy. Don't go to Quincy? Are you planning on raping me in Quincy, sir?